We have an epic war on our hands. 5v5, Town Hall 12 versus Town Hall 12, OneHive versus Croatian army. Who is going to be victorious? Non-stop attacks, guys. We will take you right the way through from the start to the finish. You are not going to want to miss a single attack. And once we hit the 1 hour mark, the first attack will be coming straight in. And here it is JC coming in, and it is with a mass hog rider attack. Let's see if he can get this one done. Starts with that coconut loon just to test for the black air bombs. Doesn't find any, but the baby dragon sets that funnel. Lovely use of that one wizard up top, driving the queen in. The elixir storage is a little bit tempting there, and especially with the Tesla, that is not good news for the archer queen. Does keep her away from the lava hound, but definitely not what JC wanted. She sees sense and draws herself back into the base. Pops that king's ability, trying to quickly get down the town hall with the ice golem there. Definitely helped to drive that through. Queen is going to pop the hound here, but he's got the poison spell in order to try and take down the lava pups pretty quickly. King finds that Tesla, clears it out, and look at how the entire left hand side of your screen is pretty much removed of defenses. We have the clan castle down. You see the skelly spell down there in the army composition, ready for that archer queen. Starts with just a couple of hogs up to the top, protect his own queen, try and hold on to her as much as possible. Notice how the tornado trap also pops there. That's not going to hold them hog riders up as they move through. Has a nice little group to the top here in order to keep himself moving through the defenses in one smooth movement. Freezes not just the queen but the eagle as well, whilst them skeletons under rage can get to work and the hog riders spread out. This is looking incredibly powerful, but we do have some splash damage defenses right to the end of the base. One heal spell left, plenty of troops in order to clean up around the outside. What do you guys think? Has to use the heal spell nice and early to help the hog riders through the expo, but as the final ones come through, we've got to hope that that heal spell remains active here. The hogs move to the inferno tower. Queen still alive, helping out. The balloons didn't quite get to that double cannon, and they are doing okay here. The spring trap definitely didn't help, loses the final few hogs. The queen just about takes down that archer tower, but if this cannon takes down the final hogs, which it more than likely will, he might just struggle. A giant bomb finishes them off anyway. Clearly, he is going to see what percentage he can get here. Maybe he can get fortunate. Maybe all of the troops can surround the double cannon. He's got 33 seconds. He can still reach the elixir collector there as well. It is going to be close, but that double cannon is locked, loaded, and ready to go. It's taken out the king. It's taken out the queen. They stand there in disbelief, waiting of the rest of the troops, but with 15 seconds on the clock, time is ticking down. Irrespective, a fantastic percentage to start OneHive off as the groups troop together. The giant bomb is already down. They start to split. It is going to be a 97%, so close to the 100, but a great attack to start off for OneHive. What can Croatian army do on response? They have a couple of minutes to pull themselves together. 55 minutes, I believe, is the mark where they then have to get that attack in. Right, well, Croatian army are back in, and we have SH coming in, this one with the miners, so already a little bit of variety in terms of the attacks that we are seeing. Starting over on this right-hand side, again with these 5v5 wars, very much like the Supercell CWL, you cannot not get the 2 stars, so there will be a solid plan for that town hall, whether that's switching siege machines, coming in from that side, whatever it is, starting with a few minions, just to snipe off them buildings, get them out the way, start that funnel. You never know what they can come in handy with, but the P.E.K.K.A, very tanky in itself, over to that left hand side, for some reason decides to retarget to the wall, is going to just tank the expo for the remainder of its life before the wall wrecker starts to come through. Obviously max level walls will take 3 hits from that wall wrecker, and does mean that it will get that little bit less into the base. Queen starting to walk around here, definitely not what was needed here. But what is in that wall wrecker? The rage and the ice golems, which means, although there is a P.E.K.K.A in there, the queen was definitely meant to go into that base. Let's see if the Inferno Tower can go down. The P.E.K.K.A is stuck on the archers, and although there's a poison spell there, the P.E.K.K.A is taking huge damage, gets a swipe onto the multi and saves the healers. What kind of miracle can FH pull out from here? The queen continuing to do work. Lava Hound now starting to come across. Needs to hope he can get that town hall down before popping the Lava Hound, but it's not going to happen. Fortunately, there is only one expo onto the queen. Sends in that minion in order to help with the healers, but time is ticking down at this point, guys. We are already at 1 minute and 15 before the battle finishes, so you can pretty much wipe the 3-star out of the game at this point. He's trying to get the town hall with that queen so that he can then be a little bit more selective with the miners. Can send them, probably spread a couple of packs around the base as well, because at this point, the time for the miners, they probably won't get through the base. Does decide to send them all in. I would have potentially sent just a couple at the top there in order to rack up percentage, but who am I? Let's just see what happens as the miners come through. Heal spell is going to help them through this initial area, through the Eagle Artillery, and they can get straight onto it, which is a must. For any miner attack, you've got to get that down, but look at the time. We're at 61% and only 30 seconds left, trying to save onto the loon to try and support anything. Here it comes onto the Tesla, but nothing else to clean up in that area. Miners continue to move through. It would have been a good attack had the queen have got in. Had he have been able to send them miners in a little bit quicker, would have certainly been promising for the 3 stars, but unfortunately runs out of time more than anything else. With the queen walking around, plenty of miners left, certainly had to just spread them heal spells, try and adapt. A valiant effort by FH, 81%, falling behind OneHive at the moment, but what can OneHive do on return? Can they get a 3 and take advantage? We have Raze straight in here against base number 5. So let's just see a lava loon style attack. So 3 different strategies we have seen so far in the stream. Awesome stuff. Starting out with that queen, sends the healers to the left side, and nice use of them bowlers to create that funnel, taking out not just that camp but the mortar as well, sending the queen down to the bottom and already cutting off that funnel. Where is he going to break in with the 5 wall breakers? The freeze onto the multi, and he's busting straight into that compartment, but the queen has already started to walk. Needs to press the king's ability here to try and force her back in, but unfortunately the queen just continues to walk, and another queen decides to walk around. What are you doing? Go into the base. She's taking huge damage. The healers are taking huge damage as well. Pops that ability, trying to salvage this as best as possible. Freezes that area, rages the healers to try and push the queen through. Thankfully, does indeed get her through that area, but she is going to go down relatively quickly. Manages to take out the enemy queen, but definitely not what was wanted here. Wanted to jump into that area with the eagle. Able to create the pathing a little bit more, but struggling at this point. Has to come in with that lava hound. Raze going to adapt here. Still has the slammer. He's pretty safe for that town hall. Just going to press in up towards it initially with the lava loon. Has that warden's ability. Here is the slammer from the left, targeting that town hall. Has that little bit of tankage already as the lava hounds come through. 8 balloons left in the pocket as well to swarm that town hall. Has to get that 2-star, and there's no way that he is not going to do that. Slammer shifts across to the town hall. The rage spell is in, but the warden is lagging behind. He just, and I mean just, that Grand Warden just about got himself up. 1 epic balloon with hardly any health, going solo, trying to take down the eagle, but the Expo has one little turn, snipes it off. 65%. How much further can he get here, trying to take out any kind of defenses, opening up any kind of trash buildings that he can. 71, going to close out around about 75, 76% if I were to guess, and that is going to be the end of this one for Raze. Has a wall breaker left in the pocket and 3 minions, but just trying to wait and open up any kind of trash buildings. Again, the Archer Queen not doing what she was meant to do. I think popping that King's ability there might have forced her back in that little bit quicker, but you never quite know. The Archer Queen always does have that little mind of her own. Minions now coming in to try and get anything, but I don't think they're going to get any more buildings. 79% it is, still keeps them in the lead here against Croatian army, but who will be the first team to secure that 3-star and potentially put their team into that winning position, trying to allow any type of percentage here. Wallbreak comes in to try and finish off the gold storage, but it wasn't enough, and 79% is where Raze of OneHive is going to finish up. We are in. We are in. Croatian army coming right back in at this, and they have another minor attack of themselves. Can they get this one to work? The Electron flying in towards the multi to try and get the Eagle and clear this entire side. Spreads the clone spells as well to try and spread the balloons either way, and that works perfectly. Takes out all the defenses in that area. Not sure that he's going to get the Queen here though, but the miners themselves will be able to take the Queen. That's what is beautiful about this as an army composition. Trying to just snipe off the defenses in that area with the remaining balloons, and look at the pathing that he has already created, able to send the King straight down this side. The miners can come straight through here as well. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Just has to maintain that funnel throughout to keep the miners in the base. Here we go, they are in already. Created just enough of a funnel on that right side. Does lose a couple of miners, but not the end of the world so long as the bulk of them do come across here. Is he going to take down the wizard tower and redirect the miners here across? Just got that army camp in order to send, or the barracks, sorry, to send the miners across to the town hall. Definitely what he needed there. Grand Warden over there with the miners, pops the ability. Wasn't necessarily needed over the Giga Bomb, but many of the miners were at low health. Lava Hound in the CC is very useful for him. Going to stall on a couple of the skeleton traps here. Finish off that Queen. We got a lot of splash damage behind these Inferno towers as well. So not only the risk of giant bombs as they start popping off, but then the splash behind gets through that area. Miners everywhere. This is looking incredibly promising, guys. Get your predictions in the chat, but right now it looks like Croatian army might be the first ones to pull in the 3 as the miners, the Queen, everything moves around. The Lava Hound not distracting the Queen until the last moment. That wizard tower surviving could be the savior of OneHive as the miners will start to clump here. They're cleaning around everything apart from the defenses. Queen going to go down to the lava pups, and what looked like so close of an attack is going to be shattered and fall into pieces. It is going to be a high 90s percentage, but unfortunately Croatian army will be kicking themselves, and the pathing of the miners not to get that wizard tower, for the Queen to get locked onto the Lava Hound super close there, definitely pulls them back into the game here in terms of percentage, but it's not meant to be. It is 4 stars versus 4 stars, and let's show you that percentage right now. OneHive that little bit in the lead, but Croatian army closing the gap after that attack. Level 8 Pidgey is in though, straight away on the return. OneHive with the Hog Riders again, starting with a couple of bowlers, able to snipe off this area, hopefully drive his troops straight in towards the town hall. Definitely seeing bases similar to this, but rotated in the position that they are. Let's just see what he can do as he creates that funnel either side. Going to no doubt just send his Queen into that area with a few healers to try and get through this middle section to the Queen, to the Eagle and the Clan Castle troops. That is enough pathing as well to then send the Hog Riders around. Let's just see how it works out. Funnel is beautiful on either side. Grand Warden's ability helps as everything starts to spread. Then they clump back together onto the jump spell. Bowlers are going to do immense damage here in the middle. Expos firing from each and every direction, but the Queen just stands there with her ability, sniping off the lava pups, and she can reach a lot of these defenses. I love that rage spell as well. Beautiful placement to get most of the troops. Unfortunate not to get more defenses inside this central compartment, but the Queen with that ability can hopefully hopefully finish off a couple more of these. Going to get the king, the expo, and probably the archer tower as well if he's fortunate. Oh, fortunate. Easily takes that down with the wizard tower as a bonus and the cannon. Amazing stuff for the hog riders here. They now have an incredible chance, but that giant bomb definitely weakened them. Had to put the heal spell in. Tornado trap pulling them around the inferno tower. Not quite able to do that damage, and they are taking a battering here. Where did they all go? Again, looked so good, but so far hog riders get shattered to the ground. The pups definitely held the queen up there. Wasn't quite able to get forward and help make his kill squad that little bit more effective than what he wanted, but it is going to close up with that comfortable 2-star, close to 70%, but I'm sure Level 8 Pidgey figured them hog riders would do a better job. I liked the plan. Again, I think it was a great plan, just unfortunate. Hog riders seemed to just take an absolute battering there with the giant bombs in combination with that inferno tower. So it is going to be around about 71 will he close up with before the wizard gets in range of that Tesla. Obviously, with only 5 bases, every single building does matter, guys. The percentage can be swayed so much from a single building, so you have to get each and every one, but 71% it is for one. Here we go, it is Danny of Croatian Army. Many people in the chat thinking they are going to take this. Will this be the attack that gets them the 3 and puts them well on their way to victory? Starting out with the P.E.K.K.A. King, just able to walk very effectively down this side, then has the wall breakers to get that queen into this little area here. Multi-inferno, air defense, plenty of stuff, and there is no chance for the queen to walk here. Interesting freeze spell there very early, but quickly able to follow up with the wall breakers as well in order to take that area out. Lovely king's ability very early there, so the queen has nowhere else to go but follow that ice golem in. She is going to be able to reach the enemy queen from this area as well, but the Tesla farm slows the king up there, and definitely that is going to be something which puts even more stress onto the archer queen, popping that ability but not quite able to pull the enemy queen at this point. No skelly spells to finish off, 10 minions, but can he time it correctly to take out the queen? Wanted her down here from this push. I liked the plan. I thought it was great. I wouldn't have expected to have needed much more than that from that push, but didn't quite work out. Tesla farm took the king down, stopped the tankage. Queen got caught on the skelly spells. Let's just see what happens here. Warden comes in. He has the dragon in the CC as the backup plan for the queen, but that slammer has popped incredibly early, and as the dragon moves through, how close will it get to the queen prior to her taking out Balloon? She's already started on this pack, but the main part of the attack is over to the left hand side. Warden's ability has obviously already been used, but we have haste spells in the bag, a heal spell no doubt for this area just ahead of the multi-inferno leading into the wizard towers. Still lots and lots of balloons, but the core of this base not quite down yet as the queen stands there looking very smug, just sniping off balloons as the dragon, well, that was the plan B, but it's down there not really doing too much. Hasn't really got too much to answer for this wizard tower as it continues to take damage from the balloons. They survive, but is it enough to get through this as the queen now able to just pop them off one by one? 40 seconds remain. A beautiful attack again. Imagine if the initial push had have got the troops required. This attack would have looked a whole lot different. 90%. The dragon finally sees sense, starts making his way over to the queen, but it's too little too late. All of the troops are down. Minions and lava pups spinning 100 miles an hour in that tornado trap, and it is going to be 93%, maybe 94%. Definitely pushing Croatian Army into the lead here. I would say it's actually only going to be 92, guys. But they probably will take the lead now 1%, and it puts OneHive backs against the wall. They need a response here in order to take that lead back, which they have held. Croatian Army now 3.5% overall into the lead. Can OneHive respond? We are straight back in with Pumper. What can he do? The Lava Loon himself has that Skelly spell for the Queen, as she is right in the center of the base, but there is a multi and a wizard tower within that area, so definitely going to have to wait until the Lalo gets there before putting that Skelly right on top. Needs to make sure that them defenses are down and out, which means we're probably flying in from this bottom direction. Again, just sending that Sui method in here as the King and Queen come forward. Shouldn't have too much to worry about here. Able to get the multi-wizard towers and air defense to help with the pathing. Beautiful stuff here. Pulls a single loon out of the clan castle. Definitely doesn't want a lava hound coming out there as well, but doubtful at this point. Just out of range there. Beautiful stuff. Is he going to pop the Queen's ability? Yes, he is. Might get a something else, I don't know, but doesn't want to pop that lava hound, that is for sure. I didn't think he was going to get it. I didn't think he was going to pull it. I thought it was incredibly doubtful that he would pull that, but he does. Not going to matter at this point as the Lalo starts off, just picking off a few buildings at that bottom area, then starting from the most northern area actually, straight into the town hall. So we are going to be taking down the Queen relatively late, but has to get an incredible spread across either side in order to push a bulk of the loons into that central area. Doesn't quite have the town hall activated as of yet. No earthquake spell, no minions, no lava pups over in that area because the air defense is not even close. I'm pretty sure he will activate it with a pup eventually, but he has left a lot of the loons behind. He's got 10 in his pocket, which he's going to have to save for that town hall. Very unfortunate, but how much more of the base can he clear before that? Starts to spread in the minions now to get himself to that 51%, and the town hall activated. There it goes, and he can now send the 10 loons into that area. There they go to the town hall to get that 2-star. Not what OneHive need. They needed a higher percentage than this, trying to snipe off any defenses on the outside that might help him with cleanup, with any kind of percentage. But at this point everything goes down. Air Skelly's still on the board. It's going to be approximately 70%, but that will push OneHive even further behind Croatian Army. If Croatian Army get a 3-star now, it could really put them in the driving seat here, ready for the victory. Or will OneHive come out when it's needed and smash a 3-star? You're not going to want to miss the end of this, guys. 70% it is, and then the attack is pretty much going to stall out at this point. Air Skelly's finished them off. When this lava hound pops, that will be it. So 70% for OneHive. Can Croatian Army get a 3-star to put themselves well ahead? We are in, guys. Another attack from Croatian Army. Can they get a 3-star? They have the miners again, so let's see if they can have that little bit extra luck this time and just about get that 3-star. You can see how the pathing for this top area with the miners could be pretty good. If you can just take out this bottom section, has that slammer there to potentially help out, and then miners straight across the top. But let's just see what he's doing with this. Sending in that Valkyrie at the top, actually going to be cutting out this right side of the base and then sending the miners through. Interesting. I thought he might have just suited the town hall and minered right across the top, but again, what do I know? Let's just see what happens. 4 earthquake spells, able to open up this entire compartment. I do like to see them 4 earthquake spells. Could he have done the same with the jump? No, probably not. Could have used some wall breakers, but it's more risky. Definitely, we've seen the Queen walk around. She is now drawn straight into that area, and she's going to do tremendous damage, starting with the enemy Queen. Takes that down. Pecker on the outside, continuing to make that funnel. We have the multi-inferno going down. Straight access to the Eagle, to the Wizard Tower. Expos in the firing line as well. The Queen here going to go full auto mode and take out this entire top section. The Lava Hound will definitely stall her just that little bit, but look already what has been taken out of this base. 2 minutes on the clock, still plenty of time to go, already at 30%. There is that support minion to help the healers as the Queen just pops her way through these lava pups. There's the Rage as well to power her forward. Another Skelly spell is going to be there, not Skelly spell, Skelly trap for the healers, but she quickly takes that down. That was probably about 20 seconds that we lost out on there. Coming in with the miners. Interesting that we don't really have much of a funnel for the outside initially, then just the king further on down to take out the enemy king and continue on around. The slammer coming through. Queen has gone down. Healer's switch. Definitely wanted to save onto that queen to drive back on up over towards the Grand Warden, towards them cannons. If nothing else, we will see a good percentage here, but no spells left. And that is a lot of damage to the back of the base. We've got Wizard Tower, Multi-Inferno, Bomb Tower, giant bombs going off everywhere. There is plenty of miners. They are going to shred through this initial section, but it's how much they can get through this Valley of Death towards the end. The Wizard Tower, Multi and Bomb Tower will do a lot of damage. Healers might just be able to save them through. Let's just see what happens. 40 seconds it is. They start to move around as he's lost the funnel here. So they're going to go around every single splash damage before closing in towards it. Wizard to try and help drive them into the base. Nice use of them loons. Opposite side of the air defense. You guys can get your predictions, but I think he's got this, guys. I think it's going to be a 3. The Wizard Tower getting surrounded from each and every angle is not going to keep on top of these miners. Is it going to be the first 3-star of the war? 7 seconds to take out a Grand Warden statue. And there we have it. Croatian army with the 3 stars. They are really putting themselves in the driving seat here. 9 stars to 8. Well up on percentage. OneHive need a miracle at this point. They have to get a 3-star in their final attack. And let's just see, they have this, they're in. And tricky it is. UK represent, my friend. Pekka Bobat. Let's just see if he can get this done. I really hope Tricky can get a 3-star here. If nothing else, for the suspense of the war, you guys can get some hype for the miners. That was beautiful. That queen charge was epic. What can Tricky do on response? Starts out relatively similar here with that Pekka to the north. Couple of loons onto the cannon, driving the king down to the south of the base here and around, just allowing that wrecker to come straight through the center of the base. Notice the walls here initially slightly lower leveled are going to allow the wall wrecker to get through them in only 2 hits. That just allows it to power through initially. Then it will need 3 to get through to the town hall. Does have that Lava Hound in the CC. Again, very common clan castle troop nowadays to try and slow down the queen charges, which are incredibly powerful. Wall Wrecker gets all of the way to that town hall with the Ice Golem and the Pekka, but a skeleton trap does indeed pop, and the Lava Hound pops at the same time. So much distraction here as the Giga Tesla gets to work on all of these troops, and it's amazing how quickly they go down. The Ice Golem, a little bit of a savior there in order to freeze things, but I'm not sure that he got as much value from the bowlers as he wanted. The Pekkas, obviously with the healers, continue to charge forward. 2 freeze spells for all of this splash. No Ice Golem for this area, trying to save onto them freeze spells for the multi. Finally gets one in, but then we have a Wizard Tower to contend with. The bats go down, the queen is left all alone, and with only 60%, they might not even be up on percentage at this point. So it is Croatian army's war to lose. They have to pretty much lose their attack at this point to not take the victory. OneHive close up with 69%. Very unfortunate. You could see what he was trying to do, but so many traps got in his way. Not Tricky's day, and let's just see if Croatian army can clear this one out. A beautiful 3-star. You've got to give it to them. That can sway the balance in any of these wars. 3 stars are what you need. Letting that minion get to work, because it's not over yet, guys. Croatian army have to close this one out. They have to get the 2 stars. In fact, they could probably still win with a 1-star, so long as they had the percentage on the board. So Tricky letting this minion go to work. Legend of the last minion, able to take out a cannon, but I don't think it's got enough time to get through the storage. In fact, it might not even have enough time to get through the cannon either. Let's just see. That looks pretty cool. Live replay right next to Croatian army there at the bottom side. That looked pretty cool. Minion not going to take out the cannon. Doesn't have enough time. Good effort, buddy. But you just don't make the cut. 70% it is. What happens here on percentage? Croatian army, let's just see. They need pretty much... yeah, pretty much a 25% 1-star will win them the war. Croatian army coming in for the victory. Can Pero get it done here? With the miners, they've had success. If they get a 3-star here, that will really boost their confidence moving forward. Couple of loons to help with the funnel alongside the baby dragon. Although that Tesla's there, not going to be enough to steer the Archer Queen in the wrong direction, as she is drawn down to the left. We've got the Pecker to cut off the funnel and the Wall Wrecker in, so the Queen can drive herself straight in there towards the enemy Archer Queen. Archer Queen comes across to the Wall Wrecker, so hopefully we can take the enemy Queen down pretty quick before it does too much damage to the Wall Wrecker. But look at the placement. Beautiful stuff to open up that entire channel for the Queen to walk down. Can she reach that eagle? I think it's one tile. No, she can. She can get that. She can beast that down. Come on, Queen, as she takes down the archers. Does have the Lava Hound, which is going to pop. No minion in order to help support. I guess he could have put an archer in, but it didn't matter due to where he had the Lava Hound pop. And the Queen continues on her journey through this section of the base. 1 minute and 50. Remember, 25% 1-star is going to get them the victory. It is a pretty epic charge, to be honest. All he needs to do now is create the funnel for the miners. And here they are. Interesting use of the king on that area. I thought he would have used him probably here and send the miners in from a little bit of a wider angle to push them in. He might lose a few miners here if he's not able to quickly hurry the king down this side. Miners stall on the enemy king. The town hall is just about to go down. There it is. The 1-star, 49%. And there is the 2-star and the victory for Croatian army. Does lose a couple of miners, but nothing major there alongside the king. The majority of them have stuck within the base. There is the Queen reaching that eagle as intended. She can take that down, continue the miners on this natural path around the base due to these 2 channels. Very interesting. 3 channels, in fact. There's another one there to force the miners around with the Grand Warden's ability in the bag. Our Croatian army going to get another 3-star here and really win this war outright. It is looking super promising as the Queen steps up, gets the expo in the middle, does fall to the next expo, but we have plenty of miners using the Grand Warden's ability. Might have been a little bit slow, could have potentially used that earlier to greater effect, but with the king, with these miners, with the archers and the healers, OP archers, they're going to get it done. It's a 3-star all day long for Croatia army, and that will indeed give them the victory. Miners get stalled up, but they will then take the expo. Very convincing there towards the end. 3 stars it is, and Croatian army will win this one 12 stars to 10. So there you go, guys. Croatian army getting the victory. 93% total destruction, 12 stars to 10. GG to both clans. Very well fought out. Love this format, 12v12. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. But that is going to wrap it up for this one. Until next time, peace out.